Hello, CountSacke here, back with another Minecraft Redstone video. Today, we are finally doing the tutorial on the 2x2 full flush and seamless Stargate door. Yes, that is quite a bit of a mouthful to say, but yeah, we're finally doing the tutorial of it. Been a few months or whatever, so I might as well show you the opening and closing. So here we go, here's the closing. It's rather slow, but I kind of, well, at least the way I did it couldn't really be any faster, otherwise things might break, things would break, and then yeah. So yeah, this is actually kind of the fastest it can kind of be. This door is made by me and Exorden. So yeah, I might as well say that I did the top and the sides, while Exorden did the bottom. So yeah, its dimensions are 2 by 5 by 11, which gives a volume of 660. Let's get right into the tutorial. Alright, so to get things started, we are going to say that this is your door frame. So you're going to want to go down quite a bit, but you're just going to do like this. And as you can see, yeah, you have your door frame blocks right here, and then your blue stained glass right there, then more of your door blocks. So just basically make this kind of shape. Just this shape, and then fill the inner rim with glass, like this. Looks really pretty if you ask me. Stargate doors look pretty cool. So yeah, this is what it should look like. So you have the sticky pistons on the bottom and like so. Now, we're gonna actually want to do, is put sticky pistons facing downward like so, and sticky pistons on the sides like that. Then normal pistons right here. And lastly, door frame blocks there and there. Then of course, there's one little thing that we have to do, and that's these sticky pistons like so. Whoops, that's not the block I wanted to target. There we go. So that is actually the setup for the top. Now for the bottom, there is a bit more that we actually have to do. We have to add this, then we have to add this, and this, like so, and we have to place observers right there. So yeah, that is the setup for the bottom. I would like to thank Exorden for actually coming up with that. Then of course we actually have to place these two normal pistons, like so. All right, and with that, there is still one last thing we need to do. We're just gonna put our door frame blocks around the glass again to make another layer. And then we're going to go into one side. We're going to place a sticky piston facing in this direction, facing outwards towards the wall. And then we're going to place two sticky pistons like this. So yeah, it faces into the door. We're going to have to copy the same exact thing, but mirrored it. Like here. Oops, like this. There we go. And that is our door. I'm going to get rid of this door frame here so that way it's actually kind of a little bit easier to see. So yeah, this is almost the entire setup. I'm missing something. So we're going to actually, right on this block right here, place a sticky piston facing downward, mirror it on the other side, and on the bottom, place a sticky piston right there, right diagonal to this one. And same thing again, put it right there. So yeah, this is basically the entire setup. It's actually really cool if you ask me. It's really beautiful. And with that, I think it's about time that we get to building our door. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to start here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, then up out by 1, then 1, 2, 3. So, and that should bring you to this corner. Let me just make sure that it's actually the corner. All right, good, it's the corner. Now just place your lever here. It doesn't matter. You can have a repeat. It has to be a repeater output, and well, lever can be on any side, any of these three sides. Oh, whoops, I need to leave the lever on. Okay, we put the lever here, but we need to flick it. We have to flick it down. All right, so that means it has to be powering right now. Anyway, and now what we're going to want to do is place a redstone torch. Then right under it, we're going to place two hoppers, a hopper clock like so, and we're going to want to get exactly 6 items and place it into this hopper. Then what you're going to want to do next is just place blocks here, a comparator here, and lastly, just this. Then yeah, what we have to gonna do next is place an observer facing downward like there with a comparator facing downward. Place a block on the face, then a hopper over in this direction and down like so. There we go. Then once you've done that, what you're going to want to do is to place a normal piston right here, an observer, block, and then another piston. Then what you're going to want to do is place two red wool, and then one block of redstone, then another red wool with a sticky piston, or a normal piston, my bad, sorry. There we go, like so. Next, what you want to do is place it on this block, place a hopper, then an observer, then a red wool right there, and on that red wool, place a sticky piston with a block of redstone right there. Now directly under this block of redstone, I'm going to place a hopper clock, and we're going to want to also get another 6 items. Place it into the hoppers, and there we go. Next up, what we're going to do is place an observer right there, facing upward, a comparator right there, then 2 blocks like so, leave space, and place a redstone dust. Then what you're going to want to do, go to the side and place a hopper, then go down with an observer and a block. And my friends, this is the input circuit. It's a rather interesting input circuit, if I would say so myself. Just, yeah. And I might as well actually fill in this, because if you don't fill this in, you might have a bit of issues when building the door later. I'm guessing we're going to go ahead and start with the sides. The sides is the main circuit of this door. Everything basically revolves around it. Now, it's kind of difficult to actually explain it, but you'll see when we get there. So first off, we want to do is place a normal piston right next to this block here and that sticky piston. Then directly under that, we're going to want to get droppers, one facing downward and another one facing upward. Go. And in this top dropper, you want to get an unstackable item, place it up there, then place a hopper. Doesn't really matter which direction it is. Just putting it like that. Anyway, and then we're going to place a comparator right there. But here we want to place a block here and a hopper facing on top of it, and then an observer followed by these 2 blocks with a redstone dust. So yeah, just like a little tower up to this guy here. Now next up, we need to, it's very important to don't forget this, place a furnace on top of this, or obsidian, or any unmovable block. I just like to use furnaces because they're rather cheap. Then what you're going to want to do is place a block here with a stone slab next to it, then another block right in front of that slab. Place redstone here and here with a redstone repeater in this direction with 4 ticks. Now, on the face of that repeater, place a block with a redstone torch on the other end. Then directly under these 2, we're going to place a hopper clock. Now, this hopper clock is actually the reason why it's kind of slow, but there's kind of nothing I can do about it. It's how I built the door, and well, yeah. Now, here's the important thing. We're going to want to get some eggs. In fact, we want to get 12 of them. We're going to give 6 in here, just 6 into these hoppers, then place another hopper right here and place the other 6 eggs in there. Now, it's very important that the item in these hoppers stacks up to 16. It cannot be 64. It must stack up to 16. Next up, what you're going to want to do is place an observer right here facing downward and place a comparator on top of it with a block in front of it. Then right beside it, we're going to place an observer facing outward like so, and place a comparator right here. So yeah, this comparator should be powered and should be directed into this comparator. Then what we're going to want to do is place observer here, here. So yeah, as you can see, the order goes like this, then goes outward, then 2 observers like so. Should be diagonal to this powered sticky piston. All right. Now to actually have the double piston extension. So first off, we're going to need a redstone lamp. This redstone lamp is going to be placed on top of the torch, the redstone torch, then place a redstone dust right there with wool along like so. And we face a repeater on 2 ticks in this direction. So it should be powering this block. Yeah, this needs to be a solid block. Anyway, so we're going to have to place an observer right here, another observer right there, a block here, a redstone dust. We're going to want to actually block that off. So we're going to place a blue wall right there. That's an indicator for something else. Then lastly, we just place 2 observers here and there, and lastly, a block right there. Now here is the main circuit. This circuit is very important, and basically the entire door runs on this one little part. So what you're going to want to do is place a single repeater right here and an observer facing outward from that repeater and an observer facing this way and then finally the repeater facing like this, going into a hopper. Now from that hopper, we're going to take another observer and place it to this direction. And we're going to want to get our blue wool, place a block here. And we're also going to, before we do that, we're going to place 2 redstone dust right here, 2 wool or 2 blocks right there, and blocks like so. Lastly, just place a normal slab. Run a redstone line across the top and place 2 redstone repeaters going into those blocks. This circuit controls the entire top, and well, the timings is based off of the cyan and the blue circuit. So we actually have to. So yeah, we have to basically time a lot of do a lot of timings whenever this gets powered, because we don't want to accidentally power this many more times than we need to. And well, yeah, that was an amazing insight that I had while building this door. You actually can run almost this entire door based on this circuit. And well, yeah, that's just some hints for all of those who probably want to try and build this door. Please don't be me, JK. All right, anyway, let's go back to the other side. And we're gonna basically mirror the entire thing except for the blue wool. So first we're gonna place a normal piston right here with a dropper facing downward under the piston and a dropper facing upward under that dropper. So if you're wondering, this piston updates this dropper. So yeah, we're gonna also need another stackable item with a hopper right there, and a comparator right there with a block on its face, a block here, like so, and not that 4-tick repeater. Now before I forget, place a hopper right here, a observer right here, and 2 blocks with a redstone dust. And before I also forget this, place a furnace right there. Now we're gonna just basically, we're just basically copying the other side. Replace these two, a block here. Let's a torch with our good old friend, the hopper clock. You'll see there are actually quite a bit of these hidden throughout the door. Another hopper right there. Then we're going to place observers like so. One facing here and another facing here. We're going to want to get 12, place half of them in one hopper and place the other half in the other hopper. So yeah, next you're going to place a block there. Let me check if I did that on the other side. Yes, I did. Good, I remembered. So then we're going to place a observer here, another observer here, and two observers like so. Again, we have to actually do the double extension. Place a redstone lamp here, dust, block right there and there with a 2-tick repeater. Then off to the side, get observers like so, block, redstone dust, block that off. And lastly, place observers like so. Now, okay. So the only thing that should really happen right now is that you should see that okay, my mouse just died. All right, so yeah, anyway, if we were to flick this lever, nothing much should happen. However, let's just go ahead and flick it. As you can see, the sides open up and we get a bit of that. I'm just gonna get rid of that so that way we don't actually get some problems. Let's go ahead and test that again. As you can see, it does that. And there we go, takes care of that. Yeah, all that is done, all that gets done. Sorry if the thing went down here, just reset the setup. Luckily, this one's rather easy to fix. It's not like, it's not that much actually happens. On to our next circuits. Now, we actually need to push down the block to actually push the blocks in place. We need to actually push this glass here so that way it can actually be a glass door or whatever. Anyway, but we also need to push down these because we need it to look like a flush and seamless glass door. So we have to push these down, and the way we do that is very, 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 very simple. All it requires is a hopper right here, diagonal to this one, then another observer here, then an observer facing downward, a 3-tick repeater, and observers like so. Now, the reason why this is a normal piston is because this sticky piston needs to be able to grab this block right here. I can demonstrate the little circuit. It's a very, very, very simple circuit. It's basically the perfect circuit for this. So it does a 3-tick, and we're just going to place a thing right here. As you can see, if we were to press this, it does the double extension and it retracts. So yeah, it basically does exactly what we needed to do. So yeah, that's what that does. And we're just going to, it's also the other side is going to be pretty much exactly the same. Just put an observer right here, place the 3-tick redstone repeater. Now, and then place the observers like so. So yeah, that takes care of these sides to push them down. Now we actually need to push the top down. So what we're going to do is take an output from this hopper over here by this resin block and place one right there. So you should block off that resin block. Then place a block here with a piston here. Then we also want to get our a block here with a redstone block, a normal block, then, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Place a normal piston place a normal piston facing in the opposite direction. Now, to actually power the top, we just place 2 observers right here, and that should take care of these. But to actually push it back, we need to place a hopper here and observer with just a block here to power this. So it should basically, if I'm not mistaken, this does exactly one pulse. So I guess I might as well show you. If we flick this lever, as you can see, it gets down and all that gets pushed out. and then all that gets pushed like so. So yeah, as you can see, the top closing is actually done. We haven't done the bottom because obviously we haven't wired up anything. So to actually properly fix this, we're going to actually need to have to place these redstone blocks right there. There we go. Close this out, and we're going to want to place glass here, and then our door frame blocks right there. And with that, yes, that is the top closing. Now to actually do the opening for the top, this is where we get to use our orange wool. Okay, I need to actually flick this, right? I need to flick this. Because yeah, it's actually going to be a bit of a problem if I don't flick that. Okay. Yeah, if you did flick it at the same, if you didn't flick the lever, you're gonna have to fix the door again. It's my bad. Sorry about that. It's just that if this is not flicked down when the door is open, then all the timings are wrong. So yeah, be sure to be aware of that. So let's actually get to opening a store. So on the down edge of this, we're going to actually power, not that, we're going to need a normal slab with a block here, dust here, and a repeater right there. Then we're going to have to go back to the other side, and well, there's actually quite a bit that we need to do. We're going to first place an observer right here. Oh, almost breaking other stuff. And we're going to place a comparator right there. Now, from that comparator, we place two observers like this, a block here, and a block here. I'm going to place a normal dust right there and a redstone repeater right here. Then, in front of that repeater, place a hopper with an observer directly downward from that hopper. And then from that observer, we're going to go over here, place another observer here, then two observers right there. And lastly, a block with a repeater right there. So yeah, that will take care of getting rid of the blocks when these are pulled up. When these blocks are pulled up, it gets rid of them, so that way it can actually extend. Now, to actually get it to extend, that is a completely different story. We actually need to go back over to this side and place two blocks and two 4-tick repeaters, and then a sticky piston facing upward with an observer right there, a block right there, a 2-tick repeater, observer facing in this direction with a 4-tick repeater, and lastly, a slab with another 4-tick repeater. In front of that 4-tick repeater, we're going to place We're going to place two observers. And that should power the top. Well, there's actually still a bit more that we need to do. We actually, once this does all it needs to do, we need to actually push the block from here to here. And same thing for the other side. So what we're going to actually have to do is to place a sticky piston right here with a redstone block. And guess what? We're making another hopper clock, or whatever, hopper timer, whatever it is. And we're going to need 11 items. 11, a total of 11. So place it into this hopper. Then right here, we're going to place a slab. And on top of that slab, place a comparator. All right, in front of that slab, we're going to place a block with a redstone dust. Then off to the side, we'll make this shape. And repeater with a torch right there. Diagonal to the torch, we're going to place a sticky piston, and we're going to place a observer right there with a block on its face. Then on the other side, place a sticky piston, observer facing forward, and a 2-tick repeater on top of a block. On top of that repeater, place an observer facing upward, then go over here, all the way over here, and place 2 observers like so. Now, if you're a bit confused about the direction, they should be both facing in this direction. So yeah, so that takes care of the top. We might as well go ahead and test it out, make sure that we didn't break anything. So yeah, here we go. All right. As you can see, yeah, there we go. Top is closed, as we saw. Now we have to open it. So how did we do? Forget anything? And we retract the sides, and there we go. So we're going to put this up. Now for the bottom. Anyway, we're going to place some blocks here. Yeah, right here. Then a redstone dust across on top of those with a hopper at the end. And under that hopper, place an observer with a block. Now, here we're going to place 2 slabs, a block, and another slab, and on the other side, the same thing, a block and a slab. Now run down this entire thing with redstone dust. Then what we're going to want to do is place some observers which are facing in this direction. Then place a 1-tick repeater on top of that observer. Yes, oops. And on the other side, do the exact same thing. Observer with a 1-tick repeater. Anyway, we have to we're going to power these guys. So we're going to first place is a sticky piston with an observer on top of it. That should power this, and we place an observer off the side with a block there and a 1-tick repeater. Just repeat the same exact thing to the other side, and yeah, that was rather easy. Oops. There we go. Here and there. Now there's actually still a bit that needs to be done, and we actually need to place blocks right here with a redstone dust here and a repeater right there. So yeah, we actually take outputs from the Cayenne circuit to be able to power everything, to power a lot of stuff. And lastly, there's a bit that we need to do, and I might as well do it right now. So we're going to place a sticky piston right here with a block or observer facing in this direction, and we're going to go drop down, place an observer here, go back out, place a 2-tick repeater right there. Then we're going to bring down another observer, go place another one off to the side, place the one that went going down, place one right here, place one going down, and place another one going back into that piston, right? So yeah, there's quite a bit of things to go over, but yeah, we actually have to do this now for the other side. The other side is not as clean, but it works. So what we're going to want to do is to place a block here with a 4-tick repeater. On the end of this, place a sticky piston with an observer right there. Now what we're going to want to do is place a hopper there, place a observer, then another observer going out of that one, right here. This should go into another hopper, and then bring this right here to that observer, then going outward, and lastly, like here. Yeah, it's rather ugly and messy, but it works. It's actually, whatever, these things work, and it basically allows for these things to reset. All right. With that, what is it that we need to do now? Right. Okay, we're going to go on to this side, and we're going to place yet another sticky piston right here with an observer going in this direction. And in front of that sticky piston, place a block with a 2-tick repeater. Yes, it is. Then place another observer right here. Then an observer going downward. Continue with, don't continue with, my bad. Place a block right here. Then place another observer right there facing downward. Then place a 1 tick repeater, is it? Yes, oh, it's a 2 tick. 2 tick repeater. Like, yeah, 2 tick, yeah, 2 tick repeater right there. Then below that, we're gonna need yet another dropper and a dropper. Now in the top dropper, we place an item. Then we're gonna want to do is place a block here, wool, or a comparator. Then we're gonna place an observer facing back into this block. On top of that observer, place a 4 tick repeater. Then place a hopper with a block on top, then an observer, hopper, observer, hopper, and observer, like that. Now on top of this observer, place a 3 tick repeater with some powered rail, activator rail, doesn't matter, I just like to use powered rails. Powered rails right there. Then 2 observers facing upward. Now we're gonna have to go back onto the inside and place an observer here. So yeah, it's like, as you can see right here, then here, sticky piston right there, then a block of redstone right there, sticky piston, and a block of redstone. We're gonna go to the other side now, and we're gonna place a block there, sticky piston, block of redstone, sticky piston, block of redstone. Then we're going to place a redstone dust right there. And well, yeah, that's pretty much almost everything. Now the last thing that actually needs to be done is we need to push up these guys. And that's actually easier said than done, because we need to actually properly time this and make sure that there's enough delay such that the blocks get pushed out of these blocks are pushed into place. And yeah, if we fire them too soon, it's obviously going to push this stuff up. So yeah, luckily the timing didn't need some fancy stuff. It just requires some clever thinking. So it's not even too clever. You just need to be able to see how to make delay. So first we're going to place a 4 tick repeater right there. And we're going to place a sticky piston right here with an observer facing in this direction. Then below that, we're going to place 2 2-tick repeaters in succession. Then in front of this repeater, place an observer facing outward. Then another sticky piston right here with an observer facing in this direction with a block on its face. Now place a slab here, blocks right here, a 4 tick repeater, a redstone dust, observer right here, and a block on its face. I'll place a redstone dust here. Then right over here, right on this piston, place 2 observers, and place an observer here, an observer there, with a block on its face. The door, I think the door is done, but do not flick it yet. I will have to test it and see if there's something I messed up. So far so good. Pushed out of the way, and everything's out of the way, and done. So closing is good. So we're gonna see the opening. Did I do the opening fine? So get that out of the way, all that goes down, and it looks, yeah, everything works fine. If it does not work for you, you might have to go and rewatch a bit of the tutorial, make sure you did everything right, make sure you copied everything correctly, make sure your observers are facing in the right directions, make sure your droppers and hoppers are filled with the right amounts. So yeah, I'm glad with what I did, and well, I would like to thank Exorden for helping me out. So yeah, that's really about it for now. So thanks for watching, and hope you've enjoyed.